Hello and welcome to Becky Busy Bee Crochet. So today is the second in this series that I'm going to talk to you about starting up with the basics, chain stitch and magic ring crochet. These two forms of startup crochet are both really good forms of crochet. If you're making products where you're crocheting into a ring, then I prefer to use the magic ring method of crochet. If not, then the chain stitch crochet is also a very good method to start up with. So as I discussed in my previous video, I'm using a really basic yarn today, which is the 100% acrylic yarn. It's quite a thin yarn and we're going to be using the 4mm crochet hook to get us going. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to make a loop to attach to the hook. So all I'm going to do is make a loop around my finger. I'm going to show you this slowly so you know what I'm doing. And all you're going to do is pull the tail through just to make a little loop as though you are knotting that there, but you don't want to pull that tight, so you can see that there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the hook and I'm going to pop that through the loop and I'm going to pull the loop tight with the tail there. So just to discuss with you quickly about how to hold the hook. So I'm going to do this right-handed. So I take the hook with my right hand and I use it like a pencil here, and I always keep the yarn in between my fingers on this left hook. Everyone has a slightly different way and method of holding it, but it's whatever works for you. I like to hold it tight like this and pull it tight as I'm working with each loop on the hook to get a really good finish. So we're going to talk, I'm going to talk you through how to chain stitch now. So what you need to do when holding your yarn is you need to work from back to front with the hook. So you're always taking the yarn round the back and over the top, just so you can remember that for future reference. So chain stitching, so what we want to do is holding the yarn in our left hand, we want to yarn over the hook like that. So you've got where you started there, the loop that's pulled tight on the hook, and then this strand of wool here. And then what you want to do is you want to pull that loop to the end of the hook and then pull the loop over and through. So now what you've done is you've just started with your first chain and you now have one loop on the hook. So I'm going to show you that again. So we're going to yarn over from back over the hook to the front, and then we're going to pull this loop and pull it through the hook. So we've yarned over, we've pulled through, and now you can see we've got 2 single crochets on the hook there. We're going to yarn over, then we're going to pull the loop through the hook, 3 single crochets, yarn over, pull the hook through, 4 single crochets, yarn over, pull the hook through, 5 single crochets. Now just to show you a little bit about how that looks now, you can see they are little loops on the hook there, and what you will be doing further down the line when we're learning the stitches that go into these loops on the hook is that you will be putting your hook through the middle of each of these loops just to get your first row formed like that. So it's going to be similar to that, and I'll be showing you those stitches in my later videos so we can get you going and making nice products. So the other type of crochet or start off crochet that I want to show you is the magic ring crochet. So I'm just going to unpick this and show you that now. With the magic ring crochet, this is a really good method that I recommend for making products where you're crocheting into a ring rather than if you're making something like a blanket, a cushion cover or a scarf. You would be using the chain stitch where you would chain really long chains and then you'd be working back through those chains up and round, so that would make more squares and more larger items. But this magic ring crochet is a really good method where you're crocheting and you're working your way out to make a really big ring, and it's really good for making a lot of the products that I make, like the little bumblebees which you may have seen on my Etsy website. I've made baby peas before, all little animals and various objects like that. So let's get going and I will show you how to do the magic ring crochet. So what you want to do, and I'm just going to pop my hook down here, is you want to take the yarn and you want to lay it over your fingers like this, and then you want to wrap it round over the back of your fingers, and then, do that again. So we lay it over like that, over the back of the 3 fingers, and then over. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's crossed on the front here with your nails facing away from you, and then you turn this round and you can see it's like this here. So what you want to do is you want to get your hook and you want to go under the first strand and then turn your hook around and then pull that strand, that second strand, under and over, so it's like that. And then it's going to be a really big loop at the moment, as you can see here. And then what you want to do to secure this is 1 chain stitch, which was the stitch that I just showed you previously. So you want to get the yarn that's come through the big loop and you want to yarn it over the hook as we did before, pull the loop to the end of the hook and then pull it over and through. And then what you do to secure that is I'll just pull it through my fingers to tighten that up there. And there we go, you've got a magic ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6 single crochets just to show you what we do to finish that off, to pull that ring tight, to give a really nice neat finish for a start of a circle. So I will just quickly mention the single crochet, but don't forget that in my future videos I will be discussing the single crochet in length, along with doubles, trebles and all sorts of other stitches. So just to show you quickly how we would crochet this up. So for a single crochet you want to go into the ring, yarn over, pull up, you've got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the hook and then pull it tight. Okay, so I'll show you again just one more time and then I'm just going to quickly crochet this up just so I can show you the finished method on a magic ring as well. So you go into the big loop, yarn over, pull it up, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over from back to front, and then you pull through the 2 loops on the hook and pull it tight. When I first started doing the crochet, I found it a lot easier to do the chain stitch method because it was really basic and it's a really good starting method. But as I got a little bit more confident, using the magic ring crochet was a really good method for getting a really good finish, especially when I'm working in the round, which is a lot of the crochet that I do. So I'm just going to finish off doing my single crochets here just so you get an idea of what the finished product is like. I'm just finishing off that ring. I do really like this method as it does give a really good finish on that. So I've done my 6 singles, and then what you need to do just to finish that off, you can see those there, I'll just show you on the camera. Can you see that we've got the chains all the way along here? They're all the way along there, and what you need to do to make those into a ring is to pull this little tail here. So you pull this, and can you see that they're starting to pull together? Oh, there we go, that's a little bit quick there, wasn't it, for you? And you can see that that will then go into a round circle. So now I'm going to pull that tight. Can you see that's a round circle now there? And then what we do is then we start to crochet in each of these little V's all the way around, and then it will build up and up and up, and it will become a really big ring eventually, if you can see that there. And what the magic ring crochet does, because it does do it with the chain stitch when you are crocheting round, but this you can pull really tight and it gives a really neat inner circle finish there in the middle, which is what I really like about it. And it's a really nice way, a method of working. But again, the chain stitch does give a good finish as well, so I will be using both methods throughout my videos in the future. So that's another episode in the series of beginners crochet, just to get you started on those. So your homework is to go away and practice those chain stitches and have a little go at the magic ring if you can as well. Don't worry at all if you can't get the magic ring method at the moment, but I just wanted to show you both ways and both methods of starting up. And you will see a lot of patterns do have either the chain stitch or the magic ring to start with, so when you are reading patterns and you think, oh, what is that magic ring, then you'll know from what I've shown you today that that's what that is, as opposed to the chain stitch. So thank you for checking in today at my startup and starting out with crochet. Do give me a like and a follow if you can, and I'll be checking in again next week with another episode in the series. Thank you. Thanks guys.